the phone crying. I'm going through my personal bullshit. I'm giving her the respect, saying you guys should be together. And I never got the respect back. And I realized at that time, it broke me so much where I had to choose. And I was like, God is testing me. I had to choose whether to be a complete bitch to everybody or to realize, why do I have to change because of those morons? I am who I am, and I'm not going to do that. And you know, when you're right now, I'm 37, but growing up since you're 19 years old and you have these relationships where you tell the man that you love, go ahead and be with her, and your husband, go ahead and do what you got to do, and all the other boyfriends, we cannot get married because now I don't want to just be with anybody. That's what, to me, marriage feels like. I'm going to be again tied down. I want something real because I want a real man who's going to understand that I'm not forcing you to stay. I'm not forcing you to be with me. That's why when you talk about all the things that you were going through, how come a person cannot simply just sit down for his sake, for their mental sanity, and just be like, listen, give me a chance to tell you it's okay, you can go. Why do you have to ghost me or disrespect me or humiliate me? And for what? It's not necessary.
And it's really, and you know what it is? I feel like it's coward.
It is a coward.
It's people are afraid of being confrontational, and not everybody, but a lot of people are. And it's so, my most recent ex that I broke up with, we had the most amicable breakup. It was like the most mature, awesome breakup. And that's why to this day, we are still friends. It was just like, this isn't working for me. And I was like, you know what? This isn't work for me. I feel like you need to develop in these areas, and I am not willing to carry you along in that journey.
And he respected enough to let you go.
And actually he was the one that brought it up. He's like, I'm not where I need to be. I'm not man enough for you.
Perfect. And no one died, thank God. Nobody.
And we still talk all the time. You know,
exactly.
We're still really good friends. We talk about who he's dating and who he's seeing and whatever. We could talk about anything, because you know what? We had that respect for one another. And it's so important to have that level of respect and honor for each other, where you can just have those conversations. It doesn't have to be drama. It doesn't have to be. Like, if you don't see me as a person you want to spend your future with, just tell me. It's okay.
And if he sees you now but doesn't see you later, why does he have to trash you later?
No, and it doesn't see that. Like, I don't have one negative thing to say about my ex that I broke up with that was amicable. Right. Not one negative thing. We just knew it wasn't working. It's just not working. You're dealing with whatever you're dealing with, and you want me to be in this position to, I don't know what it was. It's like, I feel like he's so broke. Like, he had some things that he really needed to deal with, some brokenness from childhood trauma and some things of that nature.
Like the rest of us that don't need to be a victim about it.
My journey, you know what I'm saying? I had already been through my healing journey with my childhood trauma and dealing with my issues. And so I respect him because he was honest. And I'm not saying it was easy, and I'm not saying, you know, I didn't shed a tear, because I really genuinely loved him and I cared for him, but it wasn't like I didn't know. Like, in my heart of hearts, because my intuition is what it is, I knew something was still missing. I knew he was not my husband. I knew it.
Subconsciously, you know.
Subconsciously.
And maybe that's one of the reasons why I used to always say, because I didn't feel the vibration, because I don't care what the skin color or religion is. God knows I don't care. So the universe or the God will know who is for me. I'm not begging for it. When the time comes, hopefully by that time I'll be ready to receive it. But when I'm like all over the place with my thoughts. Yeah, go ahead. I forgot my thought.
So in a nutshell, it really is just about you being honest with yourself.
Yes.
And realizing what issues and what things you need to work through in order to be ready to even be in that position to even think about relationships, because it's not beneficial to you or the other person if you know you're bringing all this baggage and all this drama, and you're going to end up drawing the wrong kind of people, it's not even worth it to even get involved with anybody until you've done the work within yourself. Take the time to do your inner work. And we all are going to be, and I'm not saying, like I said, I'm going to say it again because I feel like I need to say it for the people in the back.
Right.
It is not, that does not mean you have to wait and put your life on hold until you reach perfection. Because if that's the case, you will never, ever be in a relationship because you're never going to be perfect. But I am saying that if you know you have this baggage, at least be self-aware enough, have the conversations, okay, so if you say, for instance, you're a woman that deals with insecurity, and you know you're insecure, it could be based on childhood, it could be based on past relationships, it could be like in my situation when I was dealing with, people breaking me down and telling me how I was too fat and I was not good enough and I wasn't pretty enough and I wasn't smart enough, or whatever the case may be. If you're dealing with low self-esteem, at least bare minimum, let your partner know, this is an issue that I'm dealing with. I'm working on it, but this is where I am. Have the conversations. I feel like people are so freaking scared to be honest and have open and honest conversations. This is why relationships fail. I feel like you get all of the respect and courtesy from a person when you take the time to actually tell them what you're dealing with. Okay.
But when I did that, it didn't work because the people I was with, that's the thought that it came back. So it wasn't like when I was giving them the respect, they were wrong for me. That's why I already knew subconsciously, if it doesn't work out, we're going to just go our separate ways because
that's why it was easy for you to do that. It would not be easy for you to do that with somebody that you know you were supposed to be with. That would be devastating.
But even then, I would not hold them down. Because
no, you don't hold them.
The people I couldn't be with, if I couldn't be with them, it doesn't mean that I wasn't heartbroken because I was trashed.
Mm-hmm.
I was degraded. And I felt like I was running after. I don't run after nobody.
Yeah,
I'm sitting at my own house.
If you're running, you're running by yourself because I'm not chasing you. I don't have time.
Exactly. I'm just strolling along, living my best life. I don't run. And everybody knows, whoever is not even going to admit it, you played a move on me first, period.
Mm-hmm.
I have never done it. I could do whatever I want as a woman. We have the power. If a woman really wants, she's going to get what she wants. But I have never done anything to a person that I know, if you're in a relationship, I don't need anything from you.
Yeah, I'm not even.
I will never, ever be with a married guy.
Me neither.
And most importantly, if I'm with somebody and I'm not sure where it's going to go, I always say my favorite phrase, whatever happens, happens. But today we're going to live in the moment and we're going to be respectful to one another. So because I never got it, even if I spoke to them and gave them respect and let's communicate, but they're the ones that broke that promise. They're the ones who, it doesn't matter. It all depends who you are as a person.
Yeah, it's your character. It goes back to what we said in the beginning.
Literally,
character.
Everything is your character.
Everything that you do in this life is based on your character. Mm-hmm. And the type of person that you are internally is your character. Like, I don't know that I'm not necessarily going to be like, okay, go. I'm not going to introduce you to somebody.
Yeah.
If I'm in love with you and I want to be with you, but I also am not going to hold you back. And I also am not going to beg you to be with me. I'm not going to beg somebody to love me because I know who I am. And I know that there is somebody on this planet that will love me the way I deserve to be loved. It's impossible to sow that kind of love and not reap it back. Impossible.
Absolutely.
May not be today, may not be tomorrow, but it's definitely there. My person, my husband is there.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Once, like I said, we're not settling. That's why our journey is not a walk in the park. But you know what? I'd rather pick this over anything else on this planet. No, and we talked about it earlier. I'd rather be at war with myself every day just so that I could evolve and become a better version of myself. Because I'm not doing it by hurting others. I'm doing it by teaching myself that, Marina, if this is what you wanted, keep going, don't stop, whatever, right? But because that's important. We're not settling. We have settled before.
Yeah.
And we both knew, our partners and I all knew, we are not supposed to be together. So if they did not take it serious and gave us the proper respect, and also our families to just move along and just be like, listen, you could have been friends, but they chose not to go that route because that's not their mentality. That means I don't need you in my life. So whatever happened, I'm not even regretting it.
Right.
You understand?
It was meant to be. And so again, let's wrap it up and put it all in a nice little neat bow.
Yes.
It's really all about taking that time, getting to know yourself, getting to heal, getting to understand who you are, so that when you are ready to go into a relationship, you're not drawing that same kind of broken person, because like they say, hurting people hurt people, and broken people are drawn to broken people.
Yes.
I know that for me, like one of the things that we talked about this earlier as well, I tend to draw in energy vampires. At this point in my life, I don't have time. I am done with the bullshit. I'm not tolerating anybody that's going to suck the life out of me. You don't get to take from me. At this point in my life, I pour into you from the overflow that comes from my cup. The water in my cup, that's for me. Yes. Nobody gets that, what's in my cup, but me. You get the overflow. And if I find that you are taking and you're not reciprocating, then I ain't giving you that water either.
Bye. Exactly.
You about to be thirsty.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, I'm not willing to sacrifice myself to my own detriment for the sake of making you feel good. No. Self-love first. Work on you. Take the time to deal with you so that you're not attracting that wrong, negative type of energy. I don't want to attract negative people. I don't want to attract a karmic person. I don't want that in my life.
No,
I don't want it. That's one of the reasons why not one of the reasons, it's who I am, but I don't believe in treating people like shit. I don't care. Even when you treat me like shit, I'm still going to treat you well, because that's who I am.
Right.
I don't put bad karma in the universe. I don't do it.
Right.
I literally live by the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And I would not treat people the same way I don't want to be treated. If I don't want to be lied to, I'm not going to lie to you. If I don't want to be cheated on, I'm not going to cheat on you. Exactly. If I don't want to be manipulated, I'm not going to manipulate you. I am who I am. What you see is what you get. Take it or motherfucking leave it. I am going to be me. And I'm going to be authentically me till the day I die. Because at the end of the day, I will be able to stand before God and say, you know what? I may not have gotten it all right, but I was true to who I was. And whatever I presented was the real, authentic me. And if that wasn't good enough for that person, then that wasn't my person.
Right. Right.
And that's the bottom line. But I'm not willing to not do the inner work. I'm not willing to not put in the time and get to know myself and get to know my flaws and get to know my weaknesses and get to know the areas where I need to grow, and pour myself into another relationship before I'm even self-aware enough to know who I am and what things I need to work on. At least be at bare minimum.
Yes.
If you haven't fully dealt with them, at least know what your issues are.
Exactly.
Don't bring that damage and that drama and that baggage into somebody else's life and make their lives miserable.
And this is something that people love doing.
It's not fair. Mm-hmm. If you know, like you'll just like a lot of times you'll see people that will go from one relationship to the next relationship to the next relationship to the next, and they never take time to heal. You literally jump out of this one, go right into that one. Jump out of that one, go right into that one.
That's because they don't want
you don't want to be alone. You have an issue with being alone.
Right.
Let's talk about that. And two, you don't want to feel, or you don't want to take the time to get to deal with the hard things. Sometimes you got to deal with the hard shit. It's not easy.
That's
and
why
I'm
they're
so
not
glad
ready.
that I'm a Scorpio, because our philosophy is, if you're into tarot like I am, we're death and rebirth. We're the tower. We're the two scariest cards outside the devil, which is Capricorn. We're the two scariest cards in the deck. And people are scared of it because they don't understand it. We know how to die and be reborn all the time. I know how to shed things that do not serve me and go ahead and resurrect myself back up. I do it. I've been doing it my whole life. And I didn't even understand it until recently, what that was. Why I could go through so many challenging things and I don't wear it. You don't see the smell of smoke. You don't smell the smell of smoke on me after I've been through the fire. You don't smell it on me. You want to know why? Because I've already moved on. Mm-hmm. Okay, yes, that hurt me. Yes, that knocked me out. Yes, that took the wind out of me. Oh, yes, I cried. Yes, I was depressed during that thing. Yes. But you know what? I will rise. This is not the end of my story. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to let that be what defines me. Mm-hmm. I'm going to keep moving. I'm going to keep pushing until I get to that destiny that I know is supposed to be mine. Yes. And a part of that destiny for me is having a husband that I love, that I adore, that I can shower my love and my affection and good loving on. I'm ready.
Because you're not settling. You're accepting. You're not a gold digger, but you're not settling for less.
Right. And there are things that I'm working on too. Like I have some things that I'm really, really, really focusing on business and career wise that I really want to get established before I pursue, or not even pursue, but entertain the idea of going into something more serious and more long term, because I date with intention. So I'm not dating just to date. I want to date because I want to marry. So until I'm at that place where I feel like I've gotten where I want to be, at least established where I want to be, then I'm not even trying to do that yet. But you know, I'm open. If the Lord says to me right now, hey, I know you said you want to do X, Y, and Z, but this is your husband.
Right. Right.
And I'm gonna be like, okay, baby, listen, this is what I'm still working on. This right here needs to be worked on, and this, and this. Are you okay with that? Because that's where I'm at right now.
Exactly.
At least have the conversation.
Exactly.
I love the person that I'm talking to. I love that we can talk about anything.
Exactly.
I could tell him anything about where I am in life and what I'm dealing with. We could talk about the hard things. He has seen me cry. He has seen me laugh. He has, seen me have serious conversations. We can have those conversations because I don't feel like I have to be somebody that I'm not. I am authentically me. And I'm okay being vulnerable with him because I can trust that he won't hurt or take that to use that against me. And it's very few people in this world I can actually say that with, because you know me, I'm a Scorpio. For me to even be on platforms like this is so not my personality. I am really private about my own personal things, but God has put it on my heart to really share my journey so that I can help other people. That is the only reason why I do what I do.
Right.
I am pretty private. And for me to open myself up emotionally with a person, that's not easy for me.
Right.
Even though I've decided to have an open heart, it's not easy. It's going against everything that internally I would want to naturally do. I naturally want to put my defenses up.
Mm-hmm.
Scorpios are known for our poker face.
Exactly.
I don't want to be that vulnerable on a regular basis, but when it's somebody that's worthy of my vulnerability, you get that. You get all of that. You get all of me. And it's a lot that comes with me, as you always tell me.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
But yeah, and you've got to be worthy of it. And I'm not just giving that to anybody. No. Nope. Not going to do it. You have to be worthy of it.
Exactly. That means that's when you say stuff like that, that means that you have already learned and healed and accepted who you are and why you are who you are, and your journey and your path and, your aspirations, goals, everything. It's not like before we used to just be like, okay, maybe we would change them for us. Instead, we should have just changed ourselves.
Yeah. Or we would change ourselves to be what they wanted us to be.
Exactly.
So you wanted me to be a size 2, so I'm going to lose all this weight to make you happy. Instead of you being what you want to be and saying, okay, this is what I like. If what I want to do is not what you want to do, then we are not on the same page. You know what I mean? And it's okay. It doesn't mean we're bad people. It just means you're not for me and I'm not for you. Mm-hmm. But we would try, I know for me, I'm going to speak for myself. I would try to become what people wanted me to be. That girl left, and I think she left at 30. I'll be 43 this year. I don't have the energy.
Exactly.
I am who the F I am. You can take it or leave it.
Exactly.
And that doesn't mean I'm not working toward getting better in areas, but I'm authentically going to be myself. And as I'm working toward whatever it is that I need to work toward to be better, then I'm working on it. But I'm not going to change who I am as a person to suit anybody to make them comfortable. I'm not going to ever do that again.
Yeah.
I tried that for years. So to wrap this up for the third time, my podcast family, as well as my YouTube family, we just basically are pretty much in a nutshell saying, take the time to get to know yourself, take the time to work on your self-love, take the time to work on your healing, or at bare minimum, at least recognize what areas you need to heal in. And then as you recognize those areas and you realize what it is that you need to work on those things so that you don't bring that baggage into your next situation. Nobody should pay for what somebody in your past has done. Anybody that I date, the only thing you're going to pay for is what you do. You're never going to pay for what somebody else has done because you get a clean slate. You have to build your own shit.
Yes.
You know, step your foot in your own shit before I'm going to call you out on it. Mm-hmm. You know, I am really firm about that. So take the time to heal, take the time to understand who you are, and then recognize, okay, if you know that you're still drawing that same type of crazy, manipulative, narcissistic, controlling, somebody that doesn't know how to recognize when you say no, that no means no.
Yeah.
That kind of person, then take some time to internalize and say, okay, what is it about me that I'm giving off that makes me draw this type of person? What is it about me that draws me to this kind of person? Because energy is a real thing. Your energy is exchanged all the time.
Yes.
And that's why I don't like to be around people that gossip, and I don't like to be around negative people, because that energy can exchange and can become a part of your energy. Mm-hmm. I don't like negative energy. I remove myself from negative energy.
Yeah.
So if you see that you're attracting a certain type of guy, and that guy is constantly what you're attracting, so everybody you ever dated was a cheater, then maybe you need to realize something is going on with you. What is it about me that attracts this type of broken person?
Maybe because we right away accept the red flags and we just keep on allowing this.
Or we ignore them.
We ignore them. Exactly.
Yeah, we ignore them, or we're too immature to recognize them.
Because they know what they're doing.
I was a baby, so I didn't know anything about nothing.
Right. They know.
You know, I had no clue. But I also understand that we were young. So I give grace for that, because we were super, super, super young, trying to live in an adult world, trying to be grown AF, buying our first house at 20 years old. You know, we were, he was military. We had a lot of pressure, a lot of stress, and I get that. But instead of him talking to me and us having a mature conversation, he thought that it was okay to step outside of the marriage and then disrespect me and belittle me as if I was the problem. Right. I wasn't the problem. You just weren't ready. And it's okay to say, you know what? I know I love you and whatever, but I ain't ready to be married. I ain't ready to be nobody's husband. I'm not ready to be a father. I'm just not. Now, granted, you got a child, so you're going to have to fucking deal with it. But at the end of the day, if you know you're not ready, then be honest and say, you know what? Hey, yeah, I still want to kind of run around a little bit. And it's okay.